Goa has historically had a relationship with drugs, and despite numerous high profile drug cases over the years, not much seems to be changing on the ground. With small amounts being caught every other day, the question of their source still remains. Why hasn't a state as small as Goa been able to control the inflow of drugs into the state? Goa has an immense history, a bad history with drugs. Whether it has been prominent high profile cases to small drug busts, Goa has an issue. Now, police every now and then say they have caught a person, a youth, peddling a small amount of drug, maybe 100 grams or, say 50 grams. And this is usually, very well put out, and even the media takes this up. But the issue isn't the small drug peddlers. Where are these drugs coming from? Now, despite so many of these small-time druggies caught and arrested, how have the police not been able to find their sources? Now, recently in Vasco at the railway station, about 600 grams of marijuana, or ganja as we call it, had been caught. But again, the question is, where are the sources? Where is it trickling in from? Now, drug is known for generating money. It is not just responsible for ruining lives, but the money that is generated from the sale of drugs has been known to fund terrorism. Now, this is an issue even the center has been very carefully taking up. Especially given that terrorism and the sale of arms and fundings have been raised through drug money. Now it's very hard to believe that a small state such as Goa, which has a handful amount of entries into the state, is not being able to control the inflow of drugs. Whether it is by road, we have a few entry points, we have a few forest checkposts, and the sea. Now we all know that coastal police lacks the infra. But again, it begs to question how a small state such as Goa is such a soft target for drugs. Now, even in the past, when we had issues where there have been murders and drugs were one of the main highlighting or the backing factor there, ultimately no consensus, no source was ever revealed. Where did all these drugs come from? And they still do. So the question is, what exactly is the solution? What is the long-term game plan here? Or is it that these small drug busts are enough to satisfy the criminal or the sort of the needs of the police targets? Also, now that we see that a lot of Goan youth, whether it is from schools, colleges, to youth who are just entering their adulthood, they are being exposed to these drugs, especially along the coastal belts of the northern side, whether it is from Kandolim right up to Mandre, where we see these frequent drug busts in small quantities. Again, the main question here is, where is the source? Why have they not been able to find the source, and how long before they do? Subhashish Govekar, Dylan Rodrigues and Omkar Deshprabhu for GOA365.